Guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the NYKAA Skinshield Anti-Pollution Foundation, which has this triple active action formula, which is anti-pollution, will provide deep hydration, and at the same time it has this oil control action, and I myself is of a dry skin type. So if you'd like to know my thoughts onto this NYKAA Skinshield Anti-Pollution Foundation, then please keep on watching. So the NYKAA Skinshield Anti-Pollution Foundation retails for 799 rupees and you get 30 ml of product. And as we all know by now that there comes 15 different shades into this range, which is a great step for NYKAA, because with earlier foundation launches, NYKAA only had about 5 to 6 different shades, and that also catering to light to medium skin tone. But in this range, they also have added shades for dusky, dark, even deeper skin tone as well, which is really great. And this foundation is also paraben free, cruelty free, as well as dermatologically tested. So yeah, that being said, let's just jump right into the demo of this foundation. Okay, so this is how the packaging looks like. So I'm gonna take this much, a little bit more, and as usual, I'm gonna do one side with a brush and the other side with my sponge. So first I'm gonna dot it all over my face, and I only have put moisturizer on my skin and no primer. I'm also gonna put this foundation on my neck as well, because this foundation does oxidize on my skin. And the shade I picked up is 12 True Toffee, because I saw Shalini Srivastava swatch all the shades on her skin, and she says her skin is NC42 and I am NC41-42 as well, and the shade True Toffee matched her skin tone really nicely, so that's why I picked it up. So the shade True Toffee also is a good match for my skin tone, although it does oxidize and does become a little darker, but I don't really mind my foundation go one shade darker, because I can always correct that with a lighter shade of concealer, so I don't really mind. I want to take a little bit more and go on the areas where I need little coverage, and as you can tell, this foundation definitely oxidizes. So this is how the foundation looks on the one side of my face, with one and a half layer of the foundation on. Now I'm going to go on the other side with the sponge, and I'm going to directly pick the foundation with the sponge and go on here. And the sponge I'm using is from PAC. Okay, so this is how the foundation looks with the sponge with one layer. I'm going to take a little bit more and go over on the sponge area where I need a little bit more coverage. Alright, so this is how the foundation looks. So on this side with the sponge with 2 layers, and on this side 1.5 layers but with a brush. So coverage wise, this foundation definitely is a medium to buildable coverage foundation. This is not a full coverage, not even like light to medium coverage, because on the sponge side, even with the 2 layers, I can still see a little bit of pigmentation peeking through, but on the brush side with a 1.5 layers, I don't really see as much pigmentation as on the sponge side. But finish wise, I definitely prefer the finish of the sponge more than the brush, because the sponge side looks a lot more natural, a lot more skin like, so I definitely prefer this foundation with the sponge than with the brush. So yeah, And now I'm gonna go and finish the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Okay, so one thing that I forgot to mention in the demo is the texture of this foundation. So the texture is very thick, very creamy, but not like a cream foundation. The texture of this foundation is in between of a liquid foundation and a cream foundation. And while I was doing the rest of my face, I kind of squeezed all the air out of this tube, and this is how much I'm left with. I'm a little confused because I only have used this foundation 6 to 7 times, out of which 3 times was in the video for the demo, and other 4 times I was just wearing this and testing this foundation. And most of the time I only have used a single layer of this foundation, not like 2 layers like I did in the demo. So I'm a little confused. Let me know if you also have faced the same issue like me. But anyway, back to the review. On the Nykaa website, it says this foundation has a satin matte finish, which I kind of agree to because I don't feel too dry onto the skin even though I have used quite a bit of powder. This foundation says it will have a oil control action, so I wasn't really sure if this foundation gonna suit my skin type, which is dry skin, but it also said it will provide a deep hydration. So I do kind of get the point of the satin matte finish. It's not very hydrating like a satin finish, nor very oil controlling like a matte finish foundation. So yeah, that's about the finish. And now if I talk about the longevity of this foundation on my skin stays about 6.5 hours, after which it starts to break apart. If I really set the foundation well, it will not fade as much as if I had not really set it well. But even then, after the 6 hours of mark, this foundation starts to go off, you know what I mean? But even the 6 hours in India in summertime is quite a good time for a foundation to stay put. So I definitely think this foundation does have a good performance. And one thing I would like to mention before I go into the wear test part is this foundation is not sweat proof. I've gotten comments in the past like if this XYZ foundation is sweat proof or not. The NYKAA Skinshield Anti-Pollution Foundation is not sweat proof. So yeah, and now let's see the wear test of this foundation. On this day when I tested this foundation, after I put it on, I went to a friend's house, and for the majority part we were in a balcony sitting and talking. So my point is, this wear test was a good test for this foundation without SE in summer weather. And in between I kind of forgot that I had to check in and share the results, but when I did, it was already past 7 hours after I came back home. So what you'll see is after 7.5 hours of wearing this foundation, and as I've seen, I only set this foundation lightly, so it kind of wore off from the nose, my chin, and around my nose area. And of course I sweated and oil has come through. But this is how my face looks after blotting the oil and sweat. Okay, so a quick recap. This foundation has a satin matte finish. It is paraben-free, cruelty-free, and dermatologically tested. And this foundation also stays up to 6 hours in summertime in India. The only negative thing I have to say about this foundation is the price point of the foundation. If this foundation was under 600 rupees like their other foundations, that would have been really nice. But other than that, I do really like the performance of this foundation. And the shade True Toffee also matches me nicely. So yeah, that's all that I have to say about this foundation. I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. And if you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already yet. And I will see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care. Bye.